There is no sugarcoating it. Vipassana meditation is really hard, requires a lot of time, a lot of commitment, and you have to just invest so much into it for it to work. Is it worth it? Is it worth 2 hours of meditating every single day? That's 2 hours. You could be watching something, that you could be working on a business, that you could be spending with your family, right? There's so many things that you could do with 2 hours every single day. Is Vipassana meditation worth the sacrifices that you're going to be making, and let alone sacrificing, time with family and all this other stuff? What are you going, like, the meditation itself is really hard. When you sit down to meditate, it is one of the hardest things to do. So is it worth the hassle of the hardship itself of the meditation plus everything that you give up? And the answer for me, and for thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, the answer is yes. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why meditation is worth it, especially Vipassana meditation, what some of the benefits are, and what makes it worth spending 2 hours every day meditating, what makes it worth going to a 10-day meditation retreat where you're just meditating for 12 plus hours a day. You're having 2 meals and like a snack in the evening. If it's your first course, when you're back, it's only 2 meals a day, back as an old student, I mean. And just serving, like you're supposed to serve a 10-day course if you can, or weekend courses here and there until you can, just serve a good amount. I'm going to share why all of that is worth it for me. The number one thing that really makes Vipassana meditation worth it for me is the amount of beauty that it creates in my inner world, right? So let's face it, life can be hectic. Life is hectic. Life is crazy. Our mind is crazy. Our stress, our anxiety, our emotions, the turbulences can make life so very difficult. Requires consistent upkeep. Heck, you're building strength in the gym. If you stop working out for a few months, you're going to lose all the gains, right? You're just going to lose all of it a year later. You're going to just look completely different. All your muscles are going to be gone. So it's something to maintain, and there isn't anything wrong with that. It's just, that's how it is. And you can say, well, I don't like it. I don't want to do that. That's too much hard work. And that is perfectly your choice. It is hard work to maintain a certain level of quality of mind. So it's just like anything in life, right? It's the more that you practice, or for example, a language. You speak a language fluently, but then you don't speak it for a long time, you're just going to lose it, because that's just what happens. So in the same way is how Vipassana meditation is how these qualities of mind, which are very beautiful, beautiful qualities of mind that you cultivate within Vipassana meditation that I've just been talking about. So is 2 hours a day worth it? Absolutely. Is the 10 days, a 10-day course worth it? 100%, right? These are all things that are actually a very easy price to pay. And what developing these qualities in your mind produces, right? Equanimity and acceptance, and being able to hold emotions and experiences in a healthy, distant, but attached and invested way at the same time. What it does is allows you to enter a flow state with the experience of your mind itself, right? So, flow state, you're watching a good show, time just flies. You're hanging out with a good friend, time just flies. You're like writing a paper, you enter a flow state, and it's like the paper is just writing itself at this point, right? There's a number of experiences. You're gaming, you just enter a nice state of flow where everything is just hitting right, and you're just on top of it. At your workplace, right? Any number of places, there is a state of flow that you enter where you just don't have to put so much effort, yet you're putting consistent effort into it. And it's, you're producing the most optimized results just with the least amount of effort once you're in that flow state. So with your mind, right, this relationship that you have with your mind, it can be jagged. It can have just a lot of tension, just like when you're not in a flow state. Let's say you're writing a paper, when you're not in that flow state, it just like takes a lot, and there's a little bit of spurt, and there's some resistance, and then, you're starting, and then there's just this, the communication between you and, let's say, the writing the paper, it's like a little jagged, it's a little rough. There's, you feel like you don't want to do it, you're resistant to it, you're doing, there's just a whole other thing, and maybe your experience is a little bit different, but hopefully you know what I'm talking about. But with your mind, right, it's like with experiences, with emotions, with the things that are arising in your mind in relation to or in reaction to the things happening externally, Vipassana allows you to more consistently to be in a flow state with your mind, with like, it makes the communication between you and your mind a lot smoother. That means you're able to just react a little bit nicer. You're able to do the right thing at the right time with the right amount of energy. And the beauty of Vipassana meditation is, once you're entering and you're more consistently in this flow state with your mind throughout the day, the results of your life also start to change your external world, right? You're like, when you're, let's say, talking with your partner, and you have a smoother transaction and communication with your own mind, then when there's any issues between you and the other person, that smoothness just gets transferred into the way that you are dealing with any difficulties that are arising in the relationship, any difficulties arising at work, any difficulties arising in your personal life. You know, maybe you have a new hobby and you're trying to get yourself to do something more and more. And there's just this smoothness that it creates, and this flow state that you just enter with your mind. And it's really hard to explain if you've never meditated. And you know, like, again, back to that example of trying to tell a fish what the quality of the water that it's swimming in is like. It'll be hard for it if it doesn't understand or doesn't have an experience of something else, right? Like, if one fish came from super clean water and then came to dirty water, it can compare and say, oh, well, that was clean water, this was dirty water. But then if a fish always just grew up in dirty water and it doesn't have an idea or an experience of what clean water is, it'll be like, what are you talking about? So this flow state, right, it just decreases the amount of mental chaos, resistance, struggle that there is inside your mind, which leads to the point number one of just, it makes your mind more beautiful. It just makes the experience of life more beautiful. So I think for all these reasons, basically, like the impact that it has on your external life, the impact that it has on your mind, Vipassana is so worth it to do 2 hours a day. And sometimes we forget, sometimes we fall off the bandwagon, sometimes, you know, we're very consistent, and there's just all these changes that that we go through with our practice. But at the end of the day, it is a practice that is worth pursuing, even if we don't do it, right? Even if, you know, if like me personally, it's the same with my like exercise routine, where, you know, there are times when I'm super on top of it. There's times when I'm not on it. But when I'm not on it, I recognize how good that habit is. I recognize I should be working out. I should be taking care of my physical body, even if I'm not. So in the same way, it's like having that attitude with Vipassana is, okay, now I'm just in a time in my life where I'm not doing this thing, but I recognize its health benefits. I recognize its mental benefits. I recognize that it is something that will enhance my life and that will make me feel good. And the other point, just last final point, is, you know, the part of it making your mind feel beautiful, what that does is then life becomes beautiful. And again, there's two lives, right? There's the external life of here's my job, here's how much money I got in the bank, I'm able to take care of these people. There's that external life, your station in life, all that good stuff. And then there's your personal inner relationship with the life that's inside of you, right? One moment, well, for many, many billions of years or longer, you were not alive. You were not here. You know, I don't know what you believe, but as I see it, as I am experiencing it, I was not here before I was born. I was born X amount of years ago, and that's when I popped up. And then I will be gone at some point, right? I'm going to die at some point. And again, whatever you believe about the afterlife is all up to you. But I got a starting point, I got an ending point. So what is this thing in the middle? Like, what is me? What is here having this experience, whatever that is, right? That's the life that I'm talking about, the thing that is the starting and the ending, you know, beyond my personality and the things that I like and my preferences, things like that, right? Beyond that, to the actual source of like, what is here creating this whole experience or allowing me to experience this whole experience? Your relationship with that life, the life that you are is impacted with how your mind is, right? In a way, how your mind is putting a lens on how you feel about that life that's here. So let's say you're miserable. You're just constantly miserable. Maybe externally you're miserable or externally you're successful. Um, but internally, the internal misery I'm talking about, right? Regardless of external success or failure or mediocrity, whatever you want to call it, that internal failure, the tension, the pain, the suffering within you will make you think life is horrible, will make you think that that life that's inside you sucks, like that it's a pain, it's a torture, it's a punishment, and you will want to end it, right? You're like, I don't see the point of this life that's in here, even if externally I'm like super wealthy, super famous, all of this stuff, because internally my relationship with that life, I am seeing it through the lens of my miserable mind, and therefore I'm putting the value judgment on it that it's not worth it, that it is, excuse me, it's a pain, it's a struggle, and I don't know why it's here. And because I don't know why, I'm going to end it. So that relationship, right, is correlated to the state of your mind. So with Vipassana meditation, when you make your mind beautiful, when you make the experience of your mind, the way that you handle emotions, the way that you experience experiences, when that has joy and peace and harmony and equanimity, all these great qualities, when it has those, and you look at the life within you, then you see it as a beautiful thing, right? You see it as a gift. You see it as a precious thing to be protected and to be taken care of. And so Vipassana meditation changes your relationship with that life, with the life that is in you, for the positive, for the like way betterness. And so that's like another just major thing that makes Vipassana meditation worth it, makes the 10-day worth it. Like, I want to go to a 20-day course this year, and I'm going to try to make it happen, right? And to me, it's all completely worth it just because of that. Because I think fundamentally, your experience of that life within you, whether it's beautiful or whether it's miserable, is up to you. And that is what Vipassana taught me, is that it's in my hand to change whether my relationship with life, my experience of life, and to experience that life in a beautiful, amazing way that makes this whole thing worth it, that makes life worth it. You know, forget like 2 hours is 2 hours of meditating worth it. It's like, is life worth it? And that's what meditation, that's what Vipassana makes worth. It's life. Life becomes an amazing show to enjoy. And so just seeing this powerful experience and transformation that it's made within me, like there's no doubt in my mind that Vipassana meditation is worth at least 2 hours a day. Like at least 2 hours a day. The more the merrier. And I'm always trying to do more and more, and you know, sometimes a little less, sometimes more, but more and more, to just recognize how beautiful and amazing that it is. So if you've been, you know, struggling with your maybe practice, or maybe you're new and you've just never done a course and you've just been watching my videos and you're like, you know, that sounds interesting, I will say it's worth it. If you're in your head, you're like, well, 10 days is too much work, you know, going to go meditate for 12 plus hours a day. I've never done that. I've never even meditated for 20 minutes or like an hour. Maybe you've meditated 20 minutes, but never an hour. And you're like, I can't imagine. I will say it is hard. It is not an easy thing going to a 10-day course, or going back if you've gone to a course. It is not an easy thing. It is not an easy thing to meditate for an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening. Heck, within the meditation, it's not easy to meditate. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of dedication and perseverance, but it is 100%, 1,000,000% worth it, because of that simple thing that it changes, which is your relationship with the life that is within you for the better. And that is powerful, because ultimately that is what we judge our life on, right? That is what makes life beautiful. So when you are at the end of the day, you know, on your deathbed, I've heard stories, and it just makes sense to me that, you know, you're not gonna say, well, I wanted 2 more promotions at work, or I wanted 3 more cars, or like I wanted 3 yachts instead of 2 yachts that I had, right? You're not going to be thinking about these things, and you're not going to be judging your life on these things, but what you're going to be looking back on is your internal experience of life, right? Did you have meaningful connections? Did you feel like you belonged? Did you feel connected to people, to yourself? Did life feel good? Was life a struggle internally? You know, we can't really control externally. We can influence external things, um, but external things don't have to go your way for you to think life is beautiful. But internal things do have to go your way for it to feel that way. And Vipassana gives you the tools on how to make the internal go the way that you want it to go, because you do have ultimate control over your internal world. Now, it's not easy, but you decide what goes on in your mind, and you're the only one that can control what is happening inside. Externally, like, I can't make you watch this video, but I can control that I make this video, and I'm 100% going to make this video. Can I make you 100% watch this video? Absolutely not. I can try to make the content as good as possible so that you are influenced, or that you want to watch it for the whole time. And if you are watching it this far, I really do appreciate, you just sharing your time with me and listening to me, and, just growing together. I really do appreciate that. So to end this video, I just, meditation, Vipassana meditation especially, completely worth it, completely worth all the hard work, completely worth all the hassle, because what you get at the end of the day is what will make you die well, is what will make you say, I came, I knew about this life, I had a great time, I loved it, and then you can die happily because you lived happily. And so that is, just the ultimate gift of Vipassana, is really connecting you to your life, really making you understand the meaning of why you're here, the meaning of what it is to be here, the meaning of how to be here in this, you started, you ended. How do you be in this in a way that feels good, in a way that, you're being authentic and you're being genuine and you just are amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.